And we're back with some more oxygen not included. Nuclear power up and running perfectly. The actual power spine from it, yes, I haven't actually run a power spine from here. I'm thinking of running a power spine up here to power our base. So right now we're still running off the old hydrogen, but that's fine. That's fine. There's other more pressing concerns. One is I want to rip out these old oxygen production facilities and replace them with a full-sized Rodriguez so that we can get 3 kilos of oxygen per second. This is only going to support us up to about 20 duplicants, and 2 of them are already mouth breathers, so I think we're sort of at capacity already. I'd prefer to upgrade our oxygen production, and then we have the option to hire a few more duplicants if they come along. So I'm thinking we rip out this section down here, and we replace it with something a little bit more oxygen-y. Well, sweeping this whole area up, and honestly, there's just so much junk here. We're just dumping it over here because I don't want to have to carry it all the way into the center of the base. Plus, it's, freezing. Mutated seeds have shown up. In fact, we've gotten 2 of them have shown up, and we've checked them in here. 1 blossom, actually 3. 1 blossom, 2 mealwood. Excellent. Okay, that'll get us on our way to GMA A-OK, which is one of the achievements we're going for. I was thinking it was taking too long, and oh my god. Our water tank is overflowing. Well, right. Okay. You know what? We need to solve this permanently. What I have been doing is just a band-aid. All I've been doing is extending deleting these liquid tanks and then replacing them and then filling them back up again and again to drain water out of here. And that's obviously not successful considering we've got, well, this polluted water vent. Well, that's actually gone dormant. That one's actually dormant as well. How is this happening? And that Cool Slush Geyser is the only one that's active. Fine, we are going to put in an overflow system and dump the wastewater into space. It is the only way. Well, yeah, give me a minute. Well, we are draining the water out of here slowly but surely, but it's still overflowing just a little bit. For now, our people get lots of strength training mopping. Yeah, mopping trains strength, it seems. Oh, and that's getting a little bit of a problem because we're occasionally sucking up some oil and putting it in there. That we can also fix. Actually, that will all be fixed once we get the new oxygen production system all in place. I'm thinking what we do now is we stick in just a little bit of automation here. Say a hydro switch. Yeah, we can stick in a hydro switch and we'll make it out of, well, cobalt seems to be quite plentiful. And then what we're going to do is have a pipe going all the way up to the top of the map. We're going to dump excess polluted water into space. The plan is very simple. In fact, it's changed slightly from the initial one. We're going to have all the water that's going through these tanks just go through and might as well finish filling these up. Then once these storage tanks are full, the overflow water will come up here to this shut-off valve. If this hydro sensor detects that there's water in this tile, then yeah, we're near the top of the tank. So it'll turn on this valve. This valve will pump the water up here, which will then get shunted across into here, and we're going to grow a whole bunch of reed fiber. Now, we might have to do some stuff to moderate the temperature, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, we'll use granite tiles for now. And if there's any overflow after that, we'll dump it into space. Why not? The automation is in place. The liquid, however, has not caught up with all the liquid tanks, but that is fine. Once it does, it'll overflow up here. Now, the only thing you'd be worried about is they only survive at a temperature between 22 to 37. Sometimes the water in here might dip below that. That's 20, 22. We'll see. It should be fine for now. The temperature up there is 36 degrees. We'll give it a bit of time. However, back here, how are we looking? Seriously, you still haven't managed to move all that stuff? Well, I suppose you were busy doing a little bit of movement. Over here, what are we doing? Ah, yes. Now, there's actually some brine water lying around here, and I'd like to get rid of the brine. Unfortunately, we have nowhere to store it. And we don't have a brine tank, and it's not like we have a lot of brine water lying around the place. Most of our water is salt water, or most of the... we have a little bit of brine, and I'd like some way to dispose of it. I'm thinking we just dump it into our nuclear reactor. Our nuclear reactor here is going just fine, though it's slightly under pressure. And by that I mean, well, the steam's not getting all the way out to the end. So this end steam turbine is actually... Wait, no, that one's doing it just right. This one here, yeah, this one. The steam's not quite getting all the way out there. There needs to be 200 grams of pressure under each one of these vents, and it's running short. So we're not getting maximum power out. If we increase the steam pressure in here, it should push a little bit more steam to the end. Not too much, not too much. If we go above 100 kilos, this thing will crack open. So we're up to about, say, 57 to 47 here. We could put about 10 kilos per square extra in here, and that should still leave us fine. So we'll be at 67 to 57. We'll still be well beneath the numbers we're going to need. Oh, and that reminds me. We've already got one of those. We don't need any more mealwood plants. They can go. In fact, we can throw in a couple of... Let's get rid of that. Yeah, we'll take a couple of thimble reeds and we'll move the thimble reeds down there. Those thimble reeds should... Yeah, 1 second, I just realized my mistake there. There we go. Now when they dig those two up, they won't automatically plant them in the next two tiles. Alright, so down here... Ooh, where are we going to put these? Probably over here. Say, give me those 4. Perfect, we'll stick them in there. Now, I know that's not the most radiated part, but I don't want to stick them in there because mealwood seeds or mealwoods and blossoms only require 2 tiles, but these reed fiber ones, they actually require 3. So we can't plant them, say, in this tile here because it's there's a tile in the way. So instead, what we'll do is just there, boom. So we'll stick 4 of them there. We'll eventually get a mutated seed. And how are we looking actually on the colony achievements front? Oh, I know which one that is. That is run a nuclear reactor for 5 cycles. That's rad. Run a research reactor for 5 cycles. Done. Now, GMO AOK. Why have we not analyzed a thimbleweed mutant? Or I mean a mealwood mutant. Don't we have a bunch of mutants up here? Is someone not assigned to this? So, doing a bit of checking around, I was wondering why our scientists couldn't do it, considering Zap is literally an expert at all of the sciences. In fact, their morale requirements are so high it's a little bit dangerous. But they have literally everything, but it turns out you need improved farming to actually analyze seeds. So instead, our resident farmer, where are they? Jerome. Jerome here has an agriculture skill of 15 and a science of 0. Well, Jerome, this is now going to be your job. In fact, we're going to make that a priority 9, and Jerome will be along shortly to analyze those seeds. Though I think it's going to take them a while, considering they have, no skill in science. But anyway, back to, yes, oxygen production before we got so rudely distracted. Oh, yes, and brine water disposal. That was it. Give me all the brine in there. So that'll pour in all the brine. Liquid pump will pump it in here. And what's our automation set to? Oh, that's actually on. So yeah, that should get pumped over. It's going to leave us with traces of salt, but I don't think that's going to be a problem, is it? Yeah, instantly turns to steam. Done. Perfect. That will get rid of all of our brine that's lying about the place. We ended up with a little bit of a polluted oxygen problem down here. We can take care of that pretty quick. At the same time, Jerome is analyzing seeds like crazy. We have a blossom seed exuberant and a mealwood seed bountiful. I do love the exuberant trait. Let's see. Let's go grab one of these down here. Blossom seeds, exuberant. You'll see here that it requires 250 rads a cycle to grow. Otherwise, mutated seeds need radiation to grow, and 250 rads of it for all of them. So a minimum of that, or they just won't grow at all. As well as that, because it's exuberant, they have a darkness requirement, meaning they require darkness, which makes it actually easier to grow blossom seeds. And at the same time, they produce rot pile when you harvest them, which gives you 4 kilos of what effectively amounts to dirt. So they grow 4 times faster, but they only require 50% more fertilizer. They're just amazing. The best mutation. Oh, we should set up an exuberant burst of blossom farm later on. But for now, no, for now we need to focus on what's important, which is down here and getting this oxygen production up and running, which I feel like I've been trying to start for a while now, but just can't seem to get done. All right, sweep up all the gunk. Let's get started. And this will be the start of our little Rodriguez build. Now, I recently did some more testing on this, and I'm going to be using a flat top design because it seems it's just as effective. Whatever happened, who cares? All I know is we should be able to build this in no time at all. I've built these several times before, and they just are the best when it comes to oxygen production. And yeah, you're going to trap yourself, aren't you, Millington? Good job. Tell you what, deconstruct that. And then deconstruct the ladder you're on, and there you go. Perfect. You managed to get out of there. All you had to do is just, deconstruct your way out of there. Oh, and Chris. Now Chris is getting picked on by the bees. I don't get it. Sometimes they'll just pick a pawn and decide, like, hey, we're going to hurt you. No one else. Everyone else will be fine. Just that one pawn is the only one who's going to get attacked. Well, this is a bit of a mess, but it's not that terribly bad. All the gas pumps down here, we're just going to have all of the oxygen they suck out go to the right. Now, all of the hydrogen that goes up the top, that's all going to be shunted up here and sort of go through a bunch of radiant pipes up here before getting destroyed in the hydrogen generators. Now, the reason we're using radiant pipes is these generators generate heat, the batteries, the transformers, they all generate heat. But the hydrogen will absorb it, and even if this place gets to 100 degrees, it'll be fine because all the stuff in here is made out of gold or gold amalgam, so it won't get damaged. Unless it goes up to 125, which shouldn't be possible because the hottest this hydrogen can come out at is about like 100 degrees, and that's if we were putting in 100 degree water into it. So there should be no way for this to ever overheat, meaning we can seal this whole thing up, feed it in water, and it will just keep spitting out oxygen and hydrogen forever and ever and ever, assuming we just keep feeding it water. As well as that, since our water is going to be pretty chilly, I decided to run some radiant, or just some granite pipes through here. That'll leak out some chill into the oxygen and give it a bit of a pre-chill. But soon enough, we should have this whole thing done. I even, yeah, now people can use the farming station over here without having to use Atmo suits. Well, it just seemed reasonable considering this place is actually pretty balmy. I mean, okay, to get me wrong, radiation-wise, you wouldn't want to go down there, but assuming you don't want to go for a little bit of a radiation bath, this place is grand. It also saves us a bunch of effort. We will eventually be replacing a bunch of this with radiation docks or something, I'm presuming, just so we can service this later. But for now, we still have to wait until this gets ripped out and this gets ripped out, which could take a little time. And yes, I did hear a gate activation. Ooh, would you look at that glow stick? This duplicant is positively glowing, emits low amounts of rads and light. On this difficulty level, I have been advised that they actually give themselves radiation poisoning and eventually die unless you feed them anti-rad medications. As in, the amount of rads they generate on normal difficulty is fine. It's just on the harder difficulties, they literally kill themselves, which I don't know if that's true or not. I assume it is, but I find that so hilarious. It seems like such a duplicate thing to do. Almost complete all the building of this. The gas piping is all in place, although that lovely radiant aluminum piping. At the same time, the annoying part is our power spine is way the hell over here, so getting power from there to here would be annoying, so we're just going to throw in some coal generators for now. Don't worry, we'll get in the power spine in a bit. It's just we've got so many things we're trying to do all at the same time. And, and our newest crop of recruits, they should be getting pretty close to getting Athletics 15. Once they get Athletics 15, we'll let them out. For now, I just like a well-trained, high-speed crew when the time comes. So, coal generators go in, and then we can kick this on. Oh, actually, water would be a plan. Yeah, I'm thinking... we can grab water from up there, and... oh, granite pipes might not be a good idea. Considering the temperature down here, we'd actually be dragging hot water down into this section. Tell you what, we will make it insulated pipes. There we go. That will get water into the system. And the great thing is, once this is started up and, well, useful, we can rip out those other two, and that's going to free up a whole bunch of space. And I think we'll move those atmosuit docks as well. Though the oxygen explosion when we demolish those is going to be annoying. We'll figure something out. Well, there we go. This is sealed up. Now we just got to drain most of the gases out of there. What's left? There is about 2 kilos of gas pressure in there. Let's take most of that out. Now, what we have done here is we've hooked up 4 power, 4 coal generators right there, smart battery, the usual malarkey. There, you're going to keep everything powered. And for the gas pumps, we're just having them pump the gas right out here and dump it off. No need for anything too fancy. And soon that will be down to, yeah, just about perfect levels. Alright. We can't get in here anymore, but, well, it's fine. We can get in here at some point in the future. We'll just have to make a few minor modifications. Oh, and I'm trying to plant waterweed seeds here. We want to mutate those. Right now, we have managed to mutate quite a few plants already. Where is it? If we go down all the way to the bottom, well, not a huge amount. We've got thimbleweed, mealwood, and bristle blossoms. So we need gas grass, dusk caps, dash of salt vines, waterweed, pinch peppers, bog buckets, balm lilies, spindle grub flutes, sleet wheat, and nosh. Oh, you know what? Let's dig out these oxyferns. That was actually a bad idea on my part. If we let the carbon dioxide build up, it'll make planting the mushrooms much easier. We've got a bunch of those lying around somewhere. Anyway, one thing I do need to do is stick some water in here. Just a tiny amount of water. Now, we need to stop this immediately because if we flood the place, we'll have to get someone in there to mop it up manually. And that could be a little bit glowy. Irradiating? Dangerous? Yeah, there's lots of things it would be, but generally not good. Oh. And I want to wall it in. We're going to open up a gap down here so people can get in this later. So, oh, that is enough. That's enough. Yep. Done. Okay, it hasn't stifled the bristle blossoms. That's good. How is the waterweed doing? Growth halted in irrigation. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, body temperature? It's okay. It's okay. We'll figure the rest out later. Down here, we're looking at... yeah, I think this is good to go. We'll set you to above 450. Or wait, no. What's the settings on this again? Yep, it's 450. It's 450 for each of them. And let's hook up the water, shall we? You can go to there. That should bring down the water from up top. Excellent. Now, for the time being, we're just dumping the oxygen out here because, well, we to get these things running at the start, you need to get a nice clean batch of oxygen. You need to keep it running about solidly for about half a cycle before it'll work. And, oh yeah, I forgot this is going to have to snake its whole way through. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, and while that's going on, there's a project I want them to take care of over here. You see, the temperature in this liquid tank is sort of varies from left to right. On the right, it's warmer because this is dumping in 30-degree water. On the left, it's colder because this is dumping icy water. And the temperature's kind of meh. What I was thinking is if we just got some radiant pipes. Oh, great. We're running out of cobalt already. I think I'm going to have to go on a massive metal spree soon. Okay, over to there. Oh, wait. And then there. Perfect. It'll get them a little bit chilly, and I'm sure some will get hypothermia, but that should help spread out the temperature. When the water's flowing through there, it'll drag temperature all about the place and smear it everywhere. All right, how are we looking down here? All right. Now we just need to get most of the top area filled with hydrogen. Bottom basket pumps can do their thing. We'll set this to 750 when I think we're about at the right spot. All right, you'll notice there that the hydrogen is not moving out of those top areas. So if we set that to above 750, all that should happen is once it pumps this about kilo of oxygen out of there, we should be getting clean gas. There we go. It's fine. Some of that will end up in our hydrogen generators, and those hydrogen generators will get element damage, but I think we're already clean, are we? Yeah, I think we're good. In that case, you can all go. Deconstruct, deconstruct, and deconstruct. And actually make those priority 9s. We need those done now because otherwise we're going to end up... Oh, wow, it's 3 kilos of air pressure in here already. Yeah, I don't want people getting popped eardrums up here. And that gets... I think it's 3 kilos is where popped eardrums start to become a problem. Stage 1 completed. Now we just have to integrate it with our current system. So here what we're going to do is... We're going to plug this gas pipe into here, which is coming out of that section. And then we'll just, well, deconstruct that gas pipe there. So that should all keep flowing on as normal. This will plug into the output from this electrolyzer. Don't worry, we'll clean this all up later, but this should kind of get us started. Anyone want to come down and deconstruct those? Come on. And finished. All right, so oxygen is now coming off these two. Any excess hydrogen will back up out here and get sent up to the top of the map. Same way the other hydrogen was going, which is, yeah, perfect. Though I now need to deconstruct this and somehow not make a huge mess. You know what? We can let some of that hydrogen cause a mess. It'll float up through the base eventually. So, deconstruction time? A quick deconstruction command throughout the entire area should take care of that problem. A quick deconstruction command throughout that area should take care of that problem. I know this is messy. We could probably find better ways of removing all of the gases and stuff. Actually... maybe start pumping out that hydrogen now. If we can get some of it at least into gas tanks, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. A little bit of oxygen gets sucked up in there. Not going to worry about it. In fact, we'll make you done. In fact, we should copy those settings over to here as well. Just because. And you can also stop sucking that gas up. We'll get a little bit of oxygen sucked up, some element damage up top, but that's okay. Once we plug in this into our power grid, or this power section in, we'll be ripping out all the hydrogen generators up top anyway. All right, done, and done some more. All we got to do now is maybe heat up those water weeds to 22, or water weeds? Yeah, to 22C. How are we going to do that, though, is the question. I say temperature shift plates, just throw them in, make them out of igneous rock. All we need to do is raise the temperature a couple of degrees, and the base temperatures of the temperature shift plates should be good enough for that. All right, how we doing? Yeah, that got rid of all of that mess quite quickly. Perfect. Hey, why did you take out oxygen? What did you set to? You're above 750? Okay. Don't take out any more oxygen out of there, please. And you, I'll make you a priority 8. I need you repaired. I want to make sure we want to seal this place up because it's already getting warm in there. We can actually disconnect the top part here as well. Yeah, we can deconstruct that. We'll sweep out the metals and then we can seal that up. And this way all the heat that's generated in here will be contained and sort of self-destroyed by the generators. And over here, how are we looking? 23 point... No, the temperature shift plates went in at about 23 point something. That should be more than enough to help drag us up the temperature. Just enough to get those water weeds growing. What's wrong with your irrigation? Oh, they want salt water. Fine. Where do we get... that's problematic. Wow, the slicksters ate all the carbon dioxide. Well, I know they do that, but I wasn't... That's where all that oxygen pressure has been going. Okay, I need to find some way of getting the salt water out of here without boiling anyone. That place is a little toasty. Damn it, how about here? Actually, yeah, this place is perfect. We'll just throw one in right about there. There we go. Salt water acquired. Now, that should allow those to be fertilized and start growing. We just want one mutation of them. I have no intention of growing lots of waterweed. Their only real use would be for, say, let me think. Burgers? Yeah, it's burgers about all I can think of. And would someone take out those polluted water bottles? Those polluted water bottles are off-gassing constantly. It's kind of getting frustrating. Well, this still leaves us with another problem. Effectively cooling. You see, the gas is going to come out of here pretty toasty. It's 40 C. Yeah, actually 40 to 50 C, and that's only going to get hotter. Oh, finish that off. So what we want to do is find some way of cooling it. Now, the water we're bringing in is about 22 to 23 C. So I'm thinking we do a little bit of chilling here. Now, I want to separate it off from our hives because our hives could get, stifled out from the temperature. So I'm thinking we put some insulation down here. This is going to be sort of our fire gap. Everything on this right side should remain definitely sub-zero. Everything on the left side should go above zero. Now, this is not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little bit sloppy, but it will allow us to cool down our oxygen and not have to worry about stifling our crops just yet. Area sealed off. Now for the... well, not smart part of our plan, but the part of our plan that hopefully should help. We're going to get some radiant pipes here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of a mesh or a weave. This here will put the water through radiant pipes through here, helping to drag the temperature down and equalize it with the water. Then we've got these gases coming out here, and what if we just grab these gas pipes and we replace them with something a little bit more conductive like aluminum ore. Actually, steel is even better than that. We'll wait until the water is done first, though. We don't want to start heating the place up just yet. Now, to allow us to hook this all up together, I've disconnected the bridge there. That should mean once the water gets past this point, we can start deconstructing some of these water pipes to allow us to integrate the whole system together. There we go. That looks an awful lot better. And now, we just have to make sure that the plumbing gets hooked up again. Come on. It's not a huge deal, but I would like the water to start flowing again before we run out. All right, there we go. Yeah, we should be plenty fine. In that case, ventilation time. Now, the reason we're using radiant gas pipes made of steel, steel's just the best at this. Yeah, you know what? That's fine there. I'm not even going to try wiggling them too much. Let's see how that works out to start with. If we need to start weaving them about the place the same as the water pipes, we can, but I'm hopeful this should work pretty okay. Let's actually check how the gas pipes are doing now. The stuff is coming out at 40 to 50 C. Let's see what it evens out at once we get all of this done. Actually, wait, 40, 40, 40. All right, now, do bear in mind, this is an icy cold biome, so maybe the temperatures need time to stabilize, but the oxygen's now came out at 16, 18, and 18, which is impossible. It shouldn't be happening that much. It's just the water will eventually, I'm hoping about 30 degrees. That's my long-term hope would be, if the water's coming in at 21, the oxygen should be leaving at 30 degrees or less, theoretically. How's our liquid tank looking? Still a complete mess. And up here, reed fiber is doing a wonderful job of eating that excess water. I mean, I was going to put in an overflow to space, but I'm thinking, let that keep going. We've got a lot of reed fiber going on, and, oh, damn it, blueprints. I kind of want a second farmer because of the sheer amount of crops we're running right now, but I'm not seeing anything too hopeful right there. For now, our fish are starting to catch back up. They're up to 194 fish are there. Well, 190-ish. And eggs-wise, we got 32 fry eggs, and we got more inbound. We'll stop about 300 again. As for the crops down here, waterweed seed is growing. Excellent. Okay, so what's the next project? I should probably come up with a more permanent cooling solution for down here, but we'll worry about that later. We'll rip out these coal generators for now. A quick bit of housekeeping where we take care of all of the remaining gases, gas pipes, rip out all the stuff we don't need. Oh, yep, all of that can go. Even frees us up a little bit of resources. And then we're going to want to break in down here. As in, we can break in down here to get into the reactor whenever we need to. However, at the moment, that reactor looks a bit toasty. Yeah, I don't really see a need to go in there. I mean, 5,000 rads? I'm not sure how long we could survive in some of these areas, considering the amount of radiation. Like, if we get up here 8,000 rads, get a few seconds in there will take us over 33 rads. Like, the way this works is, just say you were standing here for a whole cycle, the dupe would end up at 1,786 rads if they stayed there for 600 seconds. That's how much rads they would have absorbed. And, oh my god, that water is reducing the radiation significantly. Oh, god damn it. Need to find some way of getting rid of that water, don't I? Maybe we could dig in from underneath it. That might be a plan, though we're still going to end up radiating a bunch of people. I will worry about that later. Or maybe I should worry about it now. No. I want to get the power sorted. I want to be able to rip out the top part, and since this has been a renovation-style day... Oh, we're just about 10 days off the full year. There's no way we're getting all of the achievements done this 365 days. Oh, and we definitely need an awful lot more resources. I'm just looking at our power spine here. We've got 3.5 tons of cobalt. I think it's time we did another run to one of the planets to get more resources. And are any of you ready to join the team? Arctic Fox is up to 14 athletics. I'm saying, yeah. Well, we've needed a doctor for a while. They can become our dedicated doctor. Also, they could become a mechatronics engineer. Well, later on, not just yet, but I'm thinking, yeah, you're going to become advanced medical care. That way, at least have someone who's dedicated towards the medicine, because right now, the person who's doing medicine is also dual wielding for ranching, which we would prefer not to happen. Chris, you're at athletics 15 as well. I'm thinking you can join the... God damn it, why are they a doctor too? Did I just promote the wrong person? So, Arctic Fox is going to go into the skill scrubber. Yep, let's just pretend that never happened. Anyway, Chris is going to become our dedicated doctor. Yep, there we go. They can go straight into advanced medical care. Yes, perfect. Heavy Metal Pie, you can go... Ooh, actually, what's your athletics? 12. No, you can stay on the wheels, buddy. Scott is at 12 athletics. Nope, stay on the wheel. Uda George, 15 athletics. Yes. You have 3 skill points as well. You can go straight into mechatronics engineering. So Uda George and Chris Durnham, both of them can actually become fully productive members of the colony. So all we do here is make sure they're only allowed out. We don't want them, in case they're still in there, this way they can get out, but they can't get back in again. And as well as that, we're going to want to change their priorities and skills. After changing all the permissions and making sure people were in the right direction so that they couldn't... Oh, actually, Arctic Fox as well can get a promotion now. They've just come back from their skill scrubbing. Their brain is all spotlessly clean. Time for us to complicate their lives again by promoting them immediately up the chain to exosuit wearing. And let's make them, well, more mechatronics engineers the better, I suppose. So, give us a mechatronics engineer. Off you go. And your morale should be just about beautiful. Perfect. Now, once they're out, they can't get back in. In fact, we will make sure none of those can get back in again. Done. All right. Next up. We need metal. We need just enormous amounts of metal. Right now, we have about 2.8 tons of cobalt, 5.7 tons of copper, about 2.5 tons of aluminum, 16 tons of gold, and 11 tons of steel. It's like we could make a power grid out of that, but it's going to be very messy. We have about 6 tons of cobalt ore, 12 tons of aluminum ore, 5 tons of copper, 15 tons of gold. What I want to do is do a quick resource run out to one of the planets. I'm thinking Ikion here is... Ikioni? There is a lot of metal around here. This is probably the most metal-rich asteroid we've seen so far. Oh, there's even aluminum ore. I say we go rip this place apart. Now, to do that, we're going to need to bring an awful lot of oxygen with us. So, first plan, make a whole bunch of oxalite. The oxalite we can jam into the rocket, and that'll keep us oxygenated on the journey over. So, I'd say right here. You see, oxalite requires a lot of power. This keeps us close enough to our power spine that we can run some heavy wire over there. And there's a whole bunch of ice down here that will keep it nice and chilly as well. So, quick oxalite production facility. This is going to be stupid simple. We're going to have a smart storage bin here. And that smart storage bin is going to hold 20 tons of oxalite. And once it's full, we turn off the oxalite refineries. That's it. And we don't care if the oxalite off-gases a bit in here. It's pretty cheap to run these things, to be honest. Well, no, not power-wise. Power-wise, they're incredibly expensive. We just don't care, I suppose, is the main thing. Now, we are going to want to put a little bit of gold into these things, so... Oh, damn it. Maybe we could put it up there. Yeah, we can put the gold on top up here. I'm sure they'll probably be able to reach it. Oh, wait. Oxygen. Yes, the power is going to come from down here. We're going to hook up the power spine of our nuclear reactor into these to start them working. But we're going to need to bring in gas as well. So we need to bring in oxygen. So oxygen has to get across there. Overflow oxygen, of course. We don't want to waste any. So I'm thinking we have these two providing the main oxygen for our base, and that means we have, well, we're providing enough oxygen with those two lines to oxygenate 20 duplicates. This third line here is for our Atmos suits, so I'm thinking we can use that as a spare to run over there, and any overflow from the other two as well. Yeah, give me a minute. This is going to be awkward. This is going to be very simple. This third line here is going to have the most capacity, so that one's going to go directly across here and into that oxalate production. The other two lines are going to have overflow. The overflow from those two lines will come across here and get fit into the second oxalate production machine. And then we're going to have some gas bridges going back and forth. So if there is any overflow from either of these lines, and in other words, if either of them are saturated and the other and backing up and the other line is not, they'll feed back and forth across each other to make sure that all of the oxygen is used. When this thing is operational, all our oxygen should be consumed from this machine down here. All of it. Well, that's the theory. Whether or not that actually happens, well, we'll find out when it's completed. And done. So, oxygen comes across, and oh wow, I messed that up, didn't I? Sorry, 1 second. We'll make a minor change or two here so this whole system doesn't go to hell. You need to go there. We're close. We've almost got this working. There's always the odd bridging or thing you mess up, but now all of the oxygen is flowing in here. We have put 1 ton of gold sitting in that storage container right there. And that storage container is in range of the autosweeper. The autosweeper picks up the gold and makes sure it gets fed into the oxalate refineries. When the oxalate refineries produce any oxalate, the oxalate is picked up and dumped into this storage container. As you see, it's off-gassing. We don't care. It's not really that big a deal. Actually. You know what we could do? Just put a gas vent right there. I mean, why not? Now, I need some way of probably getting rid of that carbon dioxide. Let me think. Semi-quick solution to the problem. Stuck in a gas pump. Stuck in one of those powerless filters, actually. And then we just have the carbon dioxide filtered out and sent up to the top of the map and off into space. Any oxygen gets sent back in again. For a little bit of automation, we've got this gas element sensor. If it senses any carbon dioxide, sucks it right out of there. That should hopefully make this place a little bit more breathable and should hopefully prevent the place overpressurizing as well. All that carbon dioxide gets dumped out up here. Oh, and how much radiation do you think we've got going on here? We are up to 27,000 tons of nuclear waste already, which is kind of incredible. Now, it generates radiation in 2 tiles around it. And you'll notice here, because of the way we set up the liquids, we've got the naphtha on top, and we've got the nuclear waste at the bottom. And when new nuclear waste comes in, it pushes the naphtha out of the way and gets forced down here. Just allows us to do that infinite liquid storage. And, down here, where we've got our 3 wheezeworts, our radiation's up to 912 rads. We can get about 1,200 rads down here if we had the other 2 running. But over here, we have 2,648 rads for both of these. So both of these combined are going to have exposure to about 5,000 rads per cycle, which is kind of incredible. I built these in... Oh, and people are worried about these getting overheated. That's not an issue. I've put a temp shift plate behind them, and that temp shift plate is going to share temperature with that. Then all we have to do is say deconstruct that, and that will drop a big blob of nuclear waste right there. And then we can also deconstruct that, which will drop a blob of nuclear waste right there. That acts as the transfer medium. So these things are now, what, 20C, and this one's 20C. Then once the radiation... Well, once the nuclear waste drops out... Seriously? Did no nuclear waste drop out? Oh yeah, there's 10 kilos of nuclear waste on that tile. It's just hard to see. Yeah, there we go. And you can see both of those are now 200 degrees. So they can't really overheat because they're made of rock. But eventually they would have melted if you had just left them there. So what is it? Your melting point 2700. We made them out of obsidian. This way the actual nuclear waste acts as a coolant for these and stop these from overheating. Well, when we run power to them. We're not using them just yet, but we're planning ahead. And that leaves us down here with oxalate production and 1.1 tons of oxygen produced already. What's this looking like? It's a complete mess of gases coming in, but from what I can tell, both of those are now running flat out. Yeah. And we're actually just about draining all the oxygen we need. Perfection. Alright, then all we gotta do is wait until we got about, 20 tons of oxalate. Or enough oxalate that we can do a proper mission into space. Which reminds me, we need to get a laboratory into space, but I am out of time. Yep. Damn it. Okay, I'm never going to get this out in time if I don't focus up more. I think next up we're going to want to knock out the last of the tech tree. All we need for that is the space science. So for space science, we just need to get someone into space with an orbital module thing and get them grinding things out in space. But that's going to require a bunch of plastic, of which we have. Where's all our plastic? We had plastic a minute ago. Where did our plastic go? Wait a minute. Yeah, it's one of the suits has become worn, so we're waiting for a replacement. And do we have any? Yeah, there's a couple of spare Atmos suits there. Once they drop off our replacement Atmos suit, it should be fine. We'll make you guys priority 6. Oh, I didn't realize that was such a problem. We should maybe stick in an auto sweeper here to remove the plastic. Yeah, 37 tons. We have 37 tons of plastic. It's fine. It's fine. No need to panic. No need to panic. Anyway, I am going to cut that out there. I hope you enjoyed and good luck.